second thing I want to say about the Board of Deputies submissions is Council repeatedly said, this is what South African Jews think. Well, I suppose what she meant to do was to say it was an assertion of what many South African Jews think. Somewhat offensive to formulate it like that, I must say, any more than saying this is what coloreds think in South Africa, this is what Africans think in South Africa. We're all individuals and there are many, many, many different people. But I'll say that that must be what she meant. And for the basis of her claim is she says, and her client says, that it represents South African Jews. Well, that's not true. What it represents is South African Jews who are members of institutions that have affiliated with the Board of Deputies. The Board of Deputies is an umbrella organization. Religious bodies, social bodies, cultural bodies which are Jewish choose whether to affiliate to it. If they affiliate to it, then its views can legitimately be taken as representative of those people. But it doesn't represent South African Jews. It doesn't represent South African Jews who are members of Jewish organizations which haven't affiliated to it. It doesn't speak for them. It doesn't represent South African Jews who are not members of Jewish organizations at all, so-called unaffiliated. It doesn't represent them. It only represents the members of organizations which have affiliated to the Board of Deputies. The claim is simply false and it needs to be rebutted. Thirdly, it relies on its claim, on its surveys, to prove what it says South African Jews believe, and this is the most egregious of the lot. Our colleagues sometimes refer to what South African Jews believe, and then to what the respondents to the surveys believe, as if they were the same. Of course, they're not the same. But let me just show you, if I can. I don't want to waste time on it, but I do need to show you what is said about it. It's volume 6E, page 1526. 1526. I beg your pardon, refers to the surveys on which the Board of Deputies rely. If the court is with me, at paragraph 51.2, the affidavit points out that the first survey, marked a WK1, says that it snowballed its participants from lists provided by Jewish community leaders of affiliated organizations. In other words, they went to community leaders of affiliated organizations and said, give us the names of other people to whom we can put this questionnaire. But its source and its origin is members, Jewish community leaders of affiliated organizations. It's their friends and associates. That's who are the subject of the survey. Then paragraph 51.3, the other survey, which is marked WK20, used a communal database provided by affiliated organizations. So they're going to the members of their and friends of their affiliated organizations and saying, do you agree or disagree with the Board of Deputies? Do you agree or disagree with Zionism? What a surprise. They all say yes, most of them. You take a closed group and then you ask them whether they're chosen by their affiliation with you, and then you ask them whether they agree with you. And so the survey excludes the overwhelming majority of South African anti-Zionist Jews, South African non-Zionist Jews, South African unaffiliated Jews. They're not in it. And the point is made at paragraph 52. There was a letter published in the media calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and criticizing what had been done by the State of Israel in November 2023. 700 people put their names on that published list. Imagine how many there must be who were never invited or who hoped that you didn't want to go public with it. So the claims that the Board of Deputies makes is it's really time for that to stop. To stand up and say we speak for all South African Jews, it simply is not true. If I can get personal, they certainly don't speak for me.